There are loads of very good photographers out there, and yeah, sometimes they get great pictures, but the problem is they're stuck. They're chasing single pictures. And because of that, their ideas never expand. Nothing connects. The ideas don't mature, and they don't get to that next level. Now, there's a way around this, which a lot of photographers have known for a long time, and that's called the long form photo project. But that's a bit of a mouthful, so let's just call it a quest. And the cool thing about a quest, when it's your own long form photo project, is that this time it's personal. Here are 7 great reasons why you need to go on your own photo quest. Number 1, a wider edit. Quite simply, if you spend more time photographing on a project, you're going to get more photos. If you get more photographs, you're going to get more good photographs. And what that means is when you come to edit the project towards the end, you're going to see you have a lot more to work from. It's really obvious, this one, guys, but yeah, think about it. If you just shoot something over a weekend, how many good photos do you think you're going to get? If you shot something for a year, okay? So it is a commitment, but then it's going to pay off in the long run. Number 2, you're going to earn experience points, okay? And what I mean by that is purely through the act of photographing on one idea for a significant period of time, you're going to get better, okay? You're going to be basically working through technical skills which align to the kind of photographic project you're working on. And obviously, there's lots of different projects you could be doing, but by doing that same thing again and again, you will get better at it, okay? I know digital cameras, you pick it up, you press the button and bam, trust me, it's not that simple. By practicing, you will get better. What's the word? What was it? That was it. Perseverance and skill. Okay, perseverance and skill. Number 3, ideas evolve. Okay, you might have an idea in the beginning of what you want to do for your long form project, and it might be, potentially it could be quite tight, quite a narrow idea. But as you begin to photograph it, you'll start to see other tangents presenting themselves. This happens in particular for documentary photographers and photojournalists, okay? Because they're out there, they're in the field, they're talking to people, they're going to events and experiencing things. And someone might just say, hey, you like this, you should check out Barbara. And off you go, and you go to check out Barbara, okay? And Barbara is a chicken who wears a jumper. Who knew? True story. Number 4, grind when you can. And what I mean by that is that you're going to need to find time to fit in this long-term project around your job, around childcare, around all your other responsibilities. And the thing is, life ain't fair, and you will be in a weird way. I mean, I'm not saying you are competing with other photographers, but to try and make a body of work, you're going to see people out there and you're going to think, wow, that's an amazing body of work that person did. And it's like, yeah, because they're a millionaire and they just do this all the time, okay? But there's a way you can meet them on the same level, and that's just taking a bit longer on this long form project, okay? Film directors have known about this for a long time. That's why you've got, say, directors like Peter Jackson, who did Lord of the Rings. His debut feature, Bad Taste, he shot over weekends, and it took 4 years. And Christopher Nolan did the same thing with his film, The Following. So yeah, it's something film directors do, and it's something photographers can do as well. So again, just trying to work on a long form project, it means you don't have to have that big chunk of free time. You can just sort of be strategic and just add to it as you go. Reason to do a quest, number 5. It's a showcase, okay? Yeah, you know, at the end of that really long form project you've shot, you've got this great body of work. Maybe it could be an exhibition, maybe it could be a photo book, but what it really is as well, it's a showcase of you as a photographer. And that's a really amazing thing to have. It's a really great way to demonstrate to the world, to potential clients, and even to yourself what it is you are capable of. So again, it's a really cool thing to do. Reason number 6, break it down. Okay, now this is something that a lot of pro photographers have known about for a long time, especially those who are working originally kind of in editorial. And that's the idea. You create a big project, but you break it into little chunks. So while you're photographing it, you're still putting those pieces of the project out. But to anyone else, they don't really know what you're doing. And it's only at the end when you reveal it to people go, oh wow, all that work was part of this bigger, multi-themed connected project. Now, when I was taught on my MA, they called it the Salgado model. And that's obviously the very famous photographer Sebastião Salgado. And I'm just going to read something here. So Sebastião Salgado did the Genesis project. It was an 8-year project that took Salgado to 32 locations, ranging from the polar regions to the Galapagos, with the goal of presenting a view of the planet where mankind lived in harmony with nature. Inspired by the reforestation of his family farm and environs in Brazil, Salgado set out to document the Earth's pristine natural sanctuaries with the hope of inspiring their preservation. Okay? And Salgado has done this time and time again on multiple projects, building in lots of little locations or lots of ideas to then create something whole. And someone else who deserves to get a shout out for amazing longer form projects is the photographer Zed Nelson, in particular his project Love Me. Love Me reflects on the cultural and commercial forces that drive a global obsession with youth and beauty. Over a period of 5 years, Zed Nelson visited 18 countries across 5 continents. The project explores how a new form of globalization is taking place, where an increasingly narrow Western beauty ideal is being exported around the world like a crude universal brand. And again, Zed Nelson came in to do a talk when I was a student, like 17 years ago, and he was showing some of this work from Love Me, but he hadn't announced what the project was. And yeah, it was amazing to kind of see that unfold. And obviously, it's a really clever thing to do as well, because let's say you're working on this really long form project and it's maybe going to take you 5 years. Well, what you can do is you can do a first part of it and put that out to the press, you know? Put it out on the internet, share it on social media, just start to create a bit of a buzz so people start to be aware of the work and what you're doing. In the past, some photographers, you could get a bit paranoid and be like, someone's going to rip me off if I share my idea, don't share the idea. But you know what? It's kind of cool in a way, because you're also saying, hey, this is what I'm doing, I'm putting my stamp on this right now. And you know what? People can do the same ideas, they're going to get completely different photographs. That's the magic of photography. So try not to worry about that too much. And the final reason number 7, and my personal favourite, is it's a story, okay? If you were just to do a body of work, puff it out over the weekend, and then show some people, well, okay, sure, it's okay. But imagine if you came to them and you said, 16 years ago, I spent 3 months over 2 years photographing in the Texas Hill Country, and I was a young photographer. I was trying to work out what was going on. It was a challenge to get there. I had to take the Greyhound bus from New York to San Antonio, and when I finally finished the work, I ended up on a reality TV photo show, and the judges said it was rubbish, and then I gave up on the work for 16 years, and then I finally published a book. And that's a true story, because that's what I did. And that's the weird thing about a long form project, is that ultimately, yes, your project is a story, but if you have to struggle, if it's a bit of a gruel, if it's a bit of a grind, people are going to appreciate that. So again, a long form photo project is a really, I should just call it a quest. Let's just call them quests from now on. Quests are really cool things to do, because yeah, you'll have an adventure. So I hope you're inspired by seeing this video to get out on your quest. And you know what? In 8 years' time, when you've finished your quest, feel free to leave a comment on this video and I'll check it out. Okay, cheers.